We've travelled the world and eaten everywhere from roadside bars to restaurants with Michelin stars. But there really is nothing like a bit of home cooking.
Coming into a warm kitchen filled with the aroma of a tasty meal bubbling away. It's one of life's great pleasures.
Lovingly prepared dishes with flavours that pack a punch. It's the perfect way to put smiles on the faces of your nearest and dearest. We also discover the secrets to producing quality ingredients.
The smell is absolutely fantastic.
Drop in on some of the UK's homeliest tea rooms and cafes and...
Find out what chefs like to cook on their days off.
This is much easier and much quicker.
There's nothing quite as comforting as simple home cooking. Today, recipes from my neck of the woods, Cumbria. We're creating glorious dishes to remind me of home, using the most amazing local produce. The Cumberland Sausage, the most famous sausage in the world. Now, this is like a shortened version. It's a bit like those kind of, well, you know, like cut-down novels, do you know what I mean? That this is a little Cumberland, but it's quite acceptable for a tray bake. First off, some oil in your tin. I want onion wedges.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm just going to prepare this butternut squash.
Now, you could use other sausages, but, you know, I like Cumberland sausages because they're peppery and they're full of meat.
So we're going to add bone-in chicken thighs. The reason that we've kept the bone on, it just adds flavour, doesn't it? And the beautiful, beautiful skin goes all crispy and lovely, and you want that. It's a comforting dish, this. It's lush.
You could take the skin off if you wanted. You could take the bones out.
Cumberland sausage in there as well. Lovely. And then, on top of that...
You haven't peeled the squash.
Well, it's rustic, innit? It's kind of... All the ingredients in this is pretty basic, and it's great because it's quick.
Now, I'm just going to strip some thyme onto there. Sprinkle it all over.
While Dave's doing that, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and some pepper in there as well.
Good glug of olive oil on top of there. Beautiful. Now, I've got 100 ml of water and about 50 ml of red wine. And that's it for the first stage. We pop that into a preheated oven, 180 degrees Celsius, for half an hour. Do you ever go Cumberland wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you'll hurt yourself.
I'll be all right. Gentle.
What
Cumberland wrestling, it's like sumo, but they wear like white tights and you stand on a hilltop and you like this, you go. And then you try and tip each other up.
Quite like that.
Get up now. No, we've done the demonstration. Right, see you in a bit. Lovely. Whoa. It's bits like this that really brighten up your dish. Whoa. There's nothing goes better than chicken and mushrooms, sausage and mushrooms. So we're going to put a layer of sliced mushrooms on. And again, we're keeping these quite rustic. See, that's just started to turn now, hasn't it?
It is lush.
Well, that looks nice, Kingy.
Doesn't it?
Now the glaze. We have a tablespoon of maple syrup.
It's a lovely glaze, this.
Oh, aye. And a teaspoon of red wine vinegar. So we've got sweet and savoury.
So you're just dabbing that on, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's nice. You get an even more even coating then, don't you?
We're doing on the sausage as well. There we go. Now, because we Cumbrians are bang on in the 21st century, it's not traditional, but we like a bit of oomph, and it can be cold up there. So I reckon about half a teaspoon of chilli flakes. Beautiful. Roast for a further 25 to 30 minutes until everything is cooked through and well browned. Now alongside this, we're going to serve some Cavolo Nero. It's like a super duper cabbage, fresh from the garden. Now it is quite a robust green, this, and although it's not fashionable, it's quite nice if it's cooked down for quite a while. Oh, smell that. Straight from the garden.
Oh, hey, beautiful. I like Cavolo Nero because there's a slight bitterness to it and depth.
Yeah.
It's great.
Great with pasta, isn't it? Or
Absolutely.
great with minestrone. I might as well chuck this thyme in, eh?
Yeah, why not?
I'll strip it off first, I don't want stalks.
Oh, it's so lovely.
It's proper winter green, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Just some lemon zest.
Yeah, please, man. Put a little bit of salt in there as well. Add a little bit of water. Not too much. What we'll do, a little bit of nutmeg in that.
But nutmeg's great on spinach too, isn't it? It's lovely.
Beautiful. Right, a little bit.
Should we turn it off? We don't want to burn the meg.
No, perfect. It's surprising, isn't it? You just cook it down for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Boom, done. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, get in. Oh, all that walking and drinking tea, dude, I'm exhausted. And that's what you need. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. And do you know what we call pork sausages up where I'm from? Snadgers. Look at the blush on those snadgers. Do you know why they call sausages bangers? Because in World War II, you know, they used to pump the sausages full of water to make them go further. You put them on a plate and they went bang. That's why they're called bangers. But these are Cumbrian snadgers. I've got to go for a sausage.
Oh.
Oh, that takes me back. That's a proper midweek winter's dish, or after a hike on a Sunday. That Cavolo Nero is superb,
Isn't it?
It's indulgent, it's unctuous and buttery.
Tell you what though, dude. I might be rustic, but I think if we're doing this again, we'll peel the butternut squash.
All right, happen. Nothing beats a bit of home cooking, but every now and then, it's nice to have someone else cook for you.
Thankfully, all over the country, there are tasty places that make us feel right at home.
My name's Doug Gillam. I own and run Gillam's Tea Room in Ulverston, Cumbria. Ulverston is a very well preserved traditional market town, but it has a really quirky edge to it. My family had a grocer's directly across the road, and that closed in 1994. In 2005, we saw the building across the road for sale, and we thought it'd be great to bring the family name back. We bit the bullet and went for it, and it's paid off. We're here 10 years later. A real big focus of the tea room is the tea. I absolutely love tea. We have 108 loose leaf teas. They're all organic. Many of them are fair trade. It's such a wonderful tradition. A proper teacup and saucer, teapot with extra hot water, a tea strainer. One of the best-selling things we have are the tea cakes. People love a tea cake. They're comforting, great accompaniment to a cup of proper tea. I make my tea cakes with strong flour, mixed fruit, spices, a bit of oil, sugar, and yeast and water, of course. I mix it all together in the mixer, take it out, give it a good kneading. This is my nana's sifter shaker that I inherited from her, and it makes me think of her each time I do it, and baking with her when I was a kid. Now I'm going to put this on here for 10 or 15 minutes. I think the tea cakes are popular because I put plenty of fruit in them and they're spiced and they're a decent size. This little bit of dough I make into a tea cake for my daughter for when she comes back from school. She comes in about 3:30 and has a little snack. We have an eclectic mix of customers. Everybody's welcome and everybody gets on and people chat to each other, table to table. We have a laugh together. Tea Cake John comes in every day on his bike. He cycles in about 3 miles. Tried all the 108 teas on our menu. Sits quietly upstairs and studies and then potters off back home again.
As the usual.
Ceylon Highlands.
Ceylon Highlands.
And a tea cake.
And a tea cake.
Could have guessed.
It's a tea cake for John, please.
Okay.
Incredibly, I've been having tea and a tea cake almost every day for years and years. I've been to many tea houses, but this this tea cake is the best I've tasted.
There we are, John.
It's full of flavour, it's spicy, it's just very nice.
It's always very friendly, always the same. A nice welcome, and of course in the winter, a nice fire.
People will say hello to you, you can strike up conversations with people even if you're not sitting there. It's quite difficult actually just to come and meet one friend in Gillam's because everybody kind of chats.
It's really important to me that the food represents us and our beliefs. Everybody that comes in gets a bit of love.
You can't talk about Cumbrian food without mentioning
The shank.
lamb shanks are brilliant, aren't they?
Well, they're a cheap cut, they're amazingly tasty, and Cumbria produce some of the nicest shanks I have ever had. I'm going to brown these lamb shanks off in our casserole dish, just to get a bit of colour on them.
So these are flageolet beans, they've been soaked overnight. I'll pop them into the water and boil them for 10 minutes. So while Mr. King's browning off, I'll get on my veggies. So to skin tomatoes, put a cross across the base like so. And plunge them into boiling water for about 30 seconds. This will release the skin, and then we plunge into iced water and the skin will curl up, fall off, then I deseed them and set them aside for later. When I was a kid, the core of the tomatoes and the skin, I had my own word for it. I used to call them the cods. I remember saying to my mother, I don't like the tomatoes with the cods in. And I don't know where it came from, but since then, even if I have tinned tomatoes, I always cut out the cods. See, the skin just peels off. Now you plunge it into cold water to cool the tomatoes down, to basically stop it cooking. Now just take the cods out, like so. The veggies I start off with are finely chopped fennel, carrot and onions.
Right, Margaret, I'm going to take these out, set them aside.
Brilliant.
Ready for your veggies.
Right, so we put this in to sweat down. That just needs to moulder away for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll get ready for the second flavour infusion, and I'll just deseed and chop my chilli. And I'm going to chop the garlic for this. I want it a little bit rustic. A sprig of thyme. I'm going to put this in its entirety and fish it out. A bay leaf. A teaspoon of smoked paprika.
Lovely.
Smoked paprika is brilliant. It's kind of sweet, it's mild, but it kind of gives everything a nice barbecue-y flavour. And 100 ml of dry white wine, some tomato puree, a tin of anchovies. Since Victorian times, anchovies have been used to season lamb.
And then just push that through.
And we just need to reduce that by half.
Right, mate.
Right, bung in your shanks.
Look at the colour of those, beautiful.
They're going to stand them up like little soldiers.
I think so.
Now our cooked beans go in the top. They're almost buried in them. Now, stock. Use lamb stock if you can get it. If not, well, beef or chicken will do fine. Now, put that in the preheated oven, 170 degrees Celsius, for an hour and a half. Right.
Right.
Right, it's been an hour and a half. It's time for those tomatoes. And just pop them in. They're going to cook down. Give us a bit more flavour. And that goes back into the oven for another hour and a half. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Well, we're nearly there, Kingy.
That's it, dude.
Bit of mustard mash.
Mustard mash. I'll mash.
Are you ready for butter?
I am, mate. Oh.
Salt.
Yes, please. Oh, Dave, look. It's come up lovely, that
Oh,
mash.
it has. It has. And mustard. I think that should be enough.
Perfect, Mr. Myers.
Let's get the shanks.
You know, when you cook lamb shanks, there's always a sense of anticipation, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's what I love about casseroles, taking the lid off.
Ooh. Oh, where have they gone? Have to be careful, they're dropping to pieces.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I've got to have a taste then.
Definitely. Oh, man. Big, bold, comforting flavours. Wonderful.
Beans are superb. Oh, lamb's been around for thousands of years. And, you know, Cumbria has some wonderful lamb. And I think this really does it justice. The stunning scenery of my home county Cumbria has long attracted poets and artists who've found inspiration in the landscape. But the Lake District is fast becoming a culinary hotspot, attracting visitors who go there for its fabulous food. At Hillthwaite House Hotel near Lake Windermere, chef Eve Townsen shares her idea of perfect comfort food.
The food that we cook here is quintessentially English. I've always been a big fan of British cooking, especially about local produce. It's something that I had grounded into me as a junior chef. You know, why not use local and get the best? I love food. Never trust a skinny chef. You've always got to be eating and tasting the food. I like to keep things simple and keep the flavours really shining through. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's got to look nice, but, you know, you really want it to taste good. Service! Being a female head chef is probably no different to being a male head chef. You're still doing the same job. Chickens. There does seem to be a few more of us now coming up to sort of higher levels, which is good. 25 chicken breasts. Is this what you've ordered? Pigeon? I used to wait on when I was 15. It was my first job, and I loved it. I loved the buzz and the sort of the social aspect, I think. And then I went to university and did hospitality management, where I decided I didn't want to deal with the customers. I was better behind doors where I could actually be a little bit more creative. And that's how I fell into the kitchen, and I've been there ever since. I used to cook at home with my mum when I was little. I used to cut everything up really tiny. I used to spend time, you know, making sure everything was, you know, aligned and really small. When my mum would get home, she'd always cook us, usually something from scratch as well. We were brought up on traditional home-cooked type food. I'm a mum. I've got one son, he's called Arthur, and he's 5. My husband's a chef, so I think our whole life still revolves around food. We sit down and have a family meal whenever we're at home together, which is difficult with the hours we both work. We always make sort of something hearty and, you know, meat and 2 veg, the classic, what your gran used to do. And one of my sort of go-to dishes that I'd make for a good hearty tea would be something like a cottage pie. I do make my cottage pie with mince. Every now and again, I try to use some of the lesser used cuts of meat, and they're cheap and actually so much more flavoursome. So doing cheeks and things like that. Plus I've got access to some really great butchers through work. So why compromise on the quality at home? Food plays an essential part in family life. I think for everybody, perhaps more so at my house with having 2 chefs as parents. My ethos in home cooking has always been whatever me and Brian are eating, Arthur will have the same. I'm not making my own stock at home. There's nothing wrong with just using a convenience stock. There it goes. That's it now. Day off. There we go. I try to be at home as much as I can from a little boy, which is hard being a chef. But, you know, time at home is precious.
Mummy.
Arthur. Here she is.
I'm warm now.
So one of Arthur's favourite foods is he loves mashed potato, or should I say he loves Mummy's mashed potato. He likes to taste it and tell me if I need to adjust the seasoning. Arthur, do you want to come and try the mash?
Bye.
Is your seasoning okay? Thank you. He came home from school the other week and said, Mummy, you need to go into school and tell those 2 ladies how to make mash. So I've not actually been in yet, but I'm going to put it on my agenda to maybe go and give them a few pointers. Here we go. I think it's really important we try to sit down for a family meal as much as we can. It's something that I did when I was growing up, and it's something that, I really want to pass on to Arthur.
You know, Si, if I had to pick one signature dish, certainly for South Cumbria, it's got to be Morecambe Bay potted shrimps.
It's such a great product.
Hand-picked Morecambe Bay shrimps are wonderful.
They are.
They're the little brown shrimps. We had this idea that you always finish off a risotto with butter, but the shrimps are potted with mace, with butter, salt and pepper, and its most wonderful thing is to float the shrimps into risotto and make a Morecambe Bay shrimp risotto.
What we're going to serve this with is a fennel and orange salad with a harissa dressing. And it's really simple. All I'm doing at the minute is I'm just segmenting an orange.
I have to tell you, it was funny because this salad was one of Si's inventions, and I knew it was a special salad. He phoned me up to tell me about his salad with his harissa dressing.
Oh, it's great.
We start off with some butter, so the butter doesn't burn, some oil. I'm going to sweat this onion down. And I'm going to grate a couple of courgettes. The courgettes really add something to it, apart from just colour.
Right, so that's me segmented orange into me bowl with the rocket. Now, the red onion, it's just thin wedges. Not only are you starting to build flavour now, you're also starting to build texture. And that's important in a salad. The mandolin. Now, unfortunately, the fennel is not in the shape where you can use the gourd. So, Kingy is about to do this without the aid of a gourd. And you need to get it as thin as you can.
Now to the onions, I'm going to add my courgettes. Start cooking these down. Then I'm going to grate 2 cloves of garlic.
So your fennel goes in to your bowl. Now at this point, just mix it up a bit.
To the onion, the garlic, courgettes, the zest of a lemon.
So I'm going to start with the dressing now. So microplane if you can, if not, crush your garlic. But just do it straight into the jar that you're going to shake your dressing together in.
Now I'll put the rice into this mixture and just cook for a minute or so until the rice is beautifully coated with the butter and starts to take flavour from the garlic, the onions and the courgettes and lemon.
A little bit of white wine vinegar on top of the garlic. So about 2 tablespoons. Runny honey. About 2 tablespoons. Teaspoon of coriander. And some harissa. There's 2 types of harissa. There's harissa, and then there's rose harissa. Rose harissa tends to be slightly lighter, so it's not a massively powerful hit of chilli, but it's more the flavour. So this is rose harissa, is what we're using now.
Now, the little bit that matters, using wine or vermouth. I'm using vermouth. It's traditional to do this with risotto, and the thing is the wine or the alcohol, it kind of softens the rice and you get a better finish, and also it's good for flavour. And we're going to cook this until all the alcohol has boiled away, and again it looks quite dry. Then we start with the stock. Now the secret of good risotto really is to use hot stock. You want this just off the boil, add the stock, a ladle at a time, and keep stirring until the rice is cooked and all the stock's absorbed. I'm using chicken stock for this. You could just as easily use vegetable stock.
Some olive oil. Salt. And a couple of twists of fresh ground black pepper. Give this dressing a really good shake. Taste it. So just on this salad as well, I've got about 25 grams of sultanas here. They're little bombs of sweetness. Now you can use almonds. Here we've got some peanuts, but I'm just going to crush those peanuts down.
It's funny, you know, you look at the back of your risotto rice packet and it says cook for 10 to 15. It always seems to take a lot longer to cook risotto.
It does.
Now this is the little engine room.
Get in.
Pots of potted shrimps. Now obviously we don't need any more butter in the risotto to finish it off because the shrimps are going to do that for us.
And that buttery, shrimpy, oh, what?
This is Morecambe meets Milan, this. Just give that a stir through and let the butter yield to the ricey loveliness.
Oh my goodness me.
And there's a lot of flavour in those shrimps. Now, the parmesan. And use good parmesan cheese. You've got mace in the potted shrimps. Mace is like the outside coating of nutmeg. So to me it makes sense just to finish with a bit of nutmeg. Then stir in a few basil leaves. pour the dressing over the salad, toss slightly together and serve immediately. To me, Morecambe-based shrimps were always special. I still think they're special. They're not a cheap option, but 3 small pots of potted shrimps in this risotto, it's going to feed 6 people. And look at that. You know, sometimes I think when we do stuff, Si, and you think, we've got this right, haven't we?
That's right.
I don't think it's much better than this.
Absolutely not. That works so well.
Do you know what? I could eat this till I popped. The secret to creating good grub is using the right ingredients.
The real work is done by the producers who put all their passion and expertise into getting their ingredients just right.
I'm Jane, and I live at a house called Delmain, which is in Cumbria. Marmalade has been my passion. I adore it. I talk about it a lot. It struck me that actually it would be quite fun to set up a competition in cahoots with the WI to find out whether people could learn more about it and whether we could really start young people making marmalade. So the recipe that I'm going to make today is one that my mother used. I think it's called an economy marmalade. 3 fruit, so it's grapefruit, lemon and sweet orange. Got a lovely sort of sophisticated overlaying sharpness to it. What I love about the way marmalade is made is that probably it hasn't changed in all the centuries that it's been made. You take a skillet, you put water in it and you boil things up. It's all very, very similar. So this is where I'm doing a bit of cheating because I'm using a pressure cooker. And it has to be said that my mother used a pressure cooker, so it's probably an influence from there, that wonderful sound of the hissing and splashing, but it does make the fruit very soft for chopping. Having steamed it for about 20 minutes and let it cool down, take it out of the pressure cooker, lovely and soft, chop it up nice and quickly, in nice big chunks, and take out all the pips at that point. So one of the things which is important is getting the size of the chunks right. Now, right means whatever it is that you like. So for some people, like my husband, he would probably prefer no chunks at all. And for me, as I'm chopping now, I think this is marmalade for me probably, because I'm going to make nice big chunks. Roughly chopped for everyday marmalade, I think is good. It means you can do it very, very quickly. You're not chopping it up into tiny little bits. And it has a bit of body to it. And I think body in marmalade is a really lovely thing. It's got texture. I love marmalade because it has so many facets to it. It's something about making it and making it with other people, which I love. It's something about the scent of it, the aroma, which is extraordinary. It's all part of our heritage. We've had it as a little golden thread coming through from the earliest of times. Even Queen Elizabeth I was eating marmalade. So I'm going to get the sugar and I'm going to put it into this lovely warm oven and let it just warm through, because what I want is for it to melt into my marmalade, my peel mixture, as quickly as possible. So that'll just warm now. When you're making marmalade, getting to what is called, I think, a rolling boil, and it's a sizzling boil, it's wonderful. And if you've ever been to a marmalade factory where they still cook marmalade by the open pan method, it's the same thing. You have this sizzling effect of the sugar boiling in the marmalade, and that gets to a point where you just know that it's ready. However, my mother always used to do the saucer test. So it looks like it's ready. It's just got a delicious colour to it. It's been rolling, boiling for a bit. So I'm going to try this saucer test, which has been tried and tested over centuries, I'd have thought. You put a tiny bit in the saucer, and I pop it in the fridge and see whether we can make it wrinkle. I've made marmalade since I was a child, but when I got married, I moved to Delmain and found this extraordinary book, which is a recipe book, and it dates back to the 1600s. They were collected by somebody called Elizabeth Rainbow, and she was the Bishop of Carlisle's wife, and she clearly loved good food. We have tried quite a number of the recipes in the book, and particularly with marmalade. Actually, marmalade is a wonderful process which probably hasn't changed over time. These recipes are very similar to what I do today, only I'm probably slightly lazier, so I'm not going to take so much time over it. Perfect. And you just want it to rest for a minute, just to let the shred get settled. The strength of marmalade is that it is quintessentially British and it comes right from our roots. This is something that people remember doing with their granny. That granny probably did it with her granny, and so it's going back centuries of time where people have just made this delicious thing. And the satisfaction of having 12 lovely jars of marmalade is immense.
Oh, Kingy,
what?
That's the first date you've had for a bit, isn't it?
It flaming is, dude, I tell you. Look at that.
But dates are the secret to a good sticky toffee pudding. This goes back to old-fashioned times. Cartmel is near where I live, and sticky toffee pudding is said to have originated there. Now, don't bombard me if it's wrong. But, you know, for me, Cartmel sticky toffee pudding. Stick to your ribs. It's lovely.
That'll do us. So, 1 teaspoon of bicarb, just sprinkle it over. And then there's exactly measured 300 mils of boiling water. And you just let that sit while Dave makes the batter.
First off, I have some butter, which I'm going to cream with some soft brown sugar and some muscovado sugar. So what I'll do now is I'll break an egg into there.
Now, so it doesn't separate, what I'm going to do, while Dave's whisking that, I'll just add a spoonful of flour.
Beautiful. And now we crack in another egg.
And another spoonful of flour.
Oh, I mean, there's such debate around who originated what is a genuine sticky toffee pudding. But, you know, I think it's something that's come out of the gingerbread that goes back to the 18th century, you know. It's coming together. I think we could get the rest of the flour in now, do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now just put the rest of the flour in. Well, I always remember one of the earliest sticky toffee puddings that I made was Delia Smith's. And Delia was the one who said, the secret is the dates. What they do is they enrich the pudding and they make it sticky.
They do.
You know, we've got the toffee sauce.
And also, they give it that lovely earthy flavour as well.
Yeah. We Cumbrians, being great adventurers, cooks and generous of spirit, would have brought the dates back from our trade with a mysterious east. Now, let's put in the dates and the water and the bicarb. Let's just fold those in.
Now the batter's virtually there, Dave's just stirring all those lovely dates and date water in. We've lined a lovely baking dish with butter and then a little bit of bacon parchment.
The thing is, the clue's in the title. It's got to be sticky. That's why it's quite a loose mixture. Try and get those dates so they're evenly distributed. Pop that into preheated oven 180 degrees Celsius, 25-30 minutes until risen, golden and just a bit springy.
So, the toffee sauce. It is simplicity itself. Melt the butter. We've got demerara sugar. Muscovado sugar. I'm just going to put some cream in there now. So then what you do, once all the sugars have dissolved and the butter's melted, you continue to stir and then you just bring it to the boil and you simmer it. And now, there may be a temptation to stick your finger in it because it's glossy and lovely. Don't, because it'll be incredibly hot. Now look at this. This is what we're talking about for a simmer. Just a couple of minutes like this. And what'll happen is those sugars will start to darken even more and it'll just make this beautiful, beautiful sauce. Turn it off, leave it to cool.
Aye, in yonder oven, I smell a pud. I better get it out before it's a dud. So although it was very liquidy, it's really found up a treat.
Lush.
In fact, it's too firm. We want it sticky. Now, I could use a skewer, a piece of spaghetti, but we find chopsticks. It's just the right bar for that thick toffee sauce to go. I want reasonably, not too random, because every bit's got to have the right amount of stick. Oh.
So you just leave that to soak in. Leave it for a good few hours just so that soaks in. And then reheat it, reheat the sauce, serve with a bit of cream, job done. Oh, mate.
This is lovely, isn't it?
Oh, good. Oh dear me. Well, that's one of those just great puddings, isn't it?
Oh, it is, it is. But it's all about the dates, isn't it? Actually, do you know what? It is great. Everybody after Christmas has a box of dates left there and they don't know what to do with.
That's a good idea, actually.
Just knock yourself up a sticky toffee pudding.
I'll tell you what, this Taste of Cumbria episode's doing well, isn't it?
Right.
Brilliant.